Hello, everyone. Welcome to our second session. My name is Judy Kiprop. I'm a Google Digital Skills Trainer with Immobilies in Nairobi, Kenya. And I'm joined by my colleague. His name is Emifaz Mushangi. And Emifaz is on the chat and he has a spanner icon. So in case you have any question, any feedback, feel free to drop that on the chat. Also, let us know if you have joined us for this second session. On the chat, just type there, I'm back, and we'll be able to know that you have joined us for this second session. Thank you so much, Emifaz. Emifaz has already introduced himself on the chat. He's saying that he's joining us from Nyeri, and also he's so encouraging you to come prepared with a notebook and a pen, and he's also encouraging you to introduce yourself on the chat. Imifas has already shared the hashtags and the social media handles. That is, our hashtags remains the same. Hashtag Google Digital Skills and hashtag Grow with Google. And our social media handles, that is, you could also follow us on our social media handles. That is at Digital Skills AF on Instagram and Twitter, and at Digital Skills for Africa on Facebook. So in this second session, we're going to take 1 hour and we are going to discuss about implement Google Workspace across your business. Just let us know on the chat if you have joined us. Let us know. And the specific agendas, we have again 3 agendas. We'll be discussing discover Google Workspace. That is, at the end of this session, you will be able to understand what Google Workspace is, the tools that are available, and its core functionality, as well as the benefits of using this digital workspace. We also look at, we'll also identify the tools to boost communication across your business. And lastly, we'll discuss how you, that is, also explore which tools can be leveraged to increase collaboration across the teams. So on the chart, can see Beatrice. Beatrice is saying you're back. Welcome, Beatrice. That was Beatrice from Ikinu, Kitunguri, Kiambu County. Wow, thank you so much, Beatrice, for joining us again. Any other person who has joined us, kindly let us know if you have joined us. So in this session, remember I've said that we're going to discuss about implement Google Workspace across your business. Annette, you're saying you're Annette Lihutsu from Nairobi. You are welcome, Annette. So let's proceed with our discussion. There's a free bootcamp that is available from Google, and my moderator is going to share the link to the bootcamp. If you have a business and you want to learn about other aspects of business like increasing sales, digital marketing, financial planning, then you can apply to join the bootcamp. So let us know, what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? There are tools that you could use to communicate and collaborate. Things maybe like instant messaging, we have Slack, we have maybe WhatsApp, video call. Let me know if there are any tools that you use to communicate and collaborate within your business. Remember, today we're talking about, or we're discussing about, in this session, we're discussing about Google Workspaces, which is actually an example of a digital workspace. I know you people, you are into online work. And so in this online work, how are you going to work online? So this is now where you learn about the digital workspace. Beatrice, you are saying there you are using WhatsApp. Wow. Thank you so much, Beatrice, for your feedback. Let's proceed with our discussion. Edwin, you're saying you're using WhatsApp. All right, thank you. So discover Google Workspace. And again, I'm asking you a question. Do you currently use Google Workspace? Do you currently use Google Workspace? And if you're using this Google Workspace, then how are you using it? Have you maybe ever heard of this Google Workspace that you're talking about? Because you're talking about the digital workspace. So like for my case, I would use Google Workspace to save files, like maybe in a shared drive, and also collaborate with teams using email. But you could also let me know on the chat if you are currently using Google Workspace? And if you are using Google Workspace, then how are you using it? Or could it be maybe that you are hearing the term Google Workspace for the first time? Let us also know that on the chat. Jacinta Mbula, you're saying you're joining us from Nairobi. Welcome back, Jacinta. I know we are together in the first session. So, do you currently use Google Workspace? And if you are using it, how are you using it? And also, you could also let me know on the chat again if you ever heard of this Google Workspace. Okay, Edwin, you're saying I use Drive for saving my files. Okay, yeah, Drive for saving files. That is quite okay. Thank you so much, Edwin, for your response there on the chat. Obech Victor, you're saying you're back and you're joining us from Oma Bay. Wow, thank you. Okay, Google Drive. Fine. So let's proceed with our discussion. So Google Workspace used to be called G Suite. If the name was changed just recently, and it is an example of a digital workspace. And this digital workspace enables people to work online wherever there is a stable internet connection. So Google Workspace is, in particular, is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools, which enables the users to create documents. You can create spreadsheets, slides, and more. You could also store data, files, and information safely and securely. And Google Workspace is sold and marketed globally by Google. So that is what Google Workspace is. Remember, we say that it used to be called G Suite, and this is where you can use secure collaboration and productivity apps for businesses of all sizes. And these apps include things like Gmail, Drive, Meet. We're going to discuss that. And then with also this Google Workspace, everything you need to get done is now in one place. So let's proceed and let's look at these tools. That is which tools are available on Google Workspace. So right there on the chart, I want you to tell me, are there tools that are familiar with you? Are there maybe tools here that you are seeing that are familiar? And just give us the names there. And also if you could also tell us about their functionality or even their features. Which one have you recognized here? Remember, there are quite a number of tools here because these are tools that are available under the Google Workspace. So let us know, is there any that you have maybe you've used before or you're aware of? Max Miller is saying you're joining us from Kawangware. That is Jacinta. Jacinta is saying you save, download, and type my work. Maximilian is saying I used to submit my work and save. Oh, yeah, true. So let me know these tools. There's these tools that I've shared on my screen. Are you familiar with these tools? Which one are you? Can you recognize? Let us know. Just type there on the chat the ones that you've seen and you are familiar with. Let us know on the chat. Let us know about these tools. These are just like maybe, can I call them maybe logos? Obech Victor. Wow, thank you so much, Victor. You say that you've seen Google Meet, you've seen Gmail, you have also seen Drive and Calendar. Perfect. Thank you so much, Obech. Absolutely, those tools are available here. Zin, you're saying that Zin Atieno, you're saying you're back for the second session. Thank you. Beatrice, you say that you have recognized Gmail and Docs. That is Google Docs. Isabella Mwangi, you're saying Google Meet and Google Drive. Let's continue with the conversation. Which other tools? Edwin Were, you're saying you've seen Gmail, you've seen Calendar. Actually, you have ordered them in. You can see the way you've put them. That is the first horizontal line. We have Gmail, we have Calendar, we have Drive, Google Meet. Perfect. And then the second one you have seen Spreadsheet. That is Google Docs and also Google Forms. Okay, fine. Ndindi Mutisia, you're saying that you've seen Google Meet, Google Drive, Google Calendar, and Google Docs. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much for your responses on the chat. I can see at least you are familiar with these, most of these tools. And I know there are tools that have not been mentioned here. Maybe would also just look at the ones that have not been mentioned. Which ones are those? And are you maybe in a position just to tell like which tool is this? So thank you so much for the amazing responses there on the chat. Now I'm going to take you through these tools. So the order that I'm going to use, I'll start with the first, that is the first horizontal line from left to right. And yes, we'll continue like that. So the first one, we have Google, that is our Gmail. So Gmail is good for conversation. And then consider that Gmail as like a capital letter M. And then we have Google Calendar. Google Calendar, it's an online calendar used to keep track of time and schedules, and also scheduling of meeting. You can schedule meeting right from your calendar. You can see there it has that number 31. Next, we have Google Drive, and Google Drive, this one is mostly used for file storage. You can upload, share, and access from any computer. So that is one thing I like about the Google Drive. Not sometimes, when you work on a particular computer and you cannot access this information from anywhere else, but if you use Google Drive, this means that you can access from any gadget, even your mobile phone. The next one, we have Google Meet, and Google Meet is a video conferencing app. So I know maybe before COVID-19, most of us maybe even didn't know about this app, that is the Google Meet app, but now we are aware about this Google Meet app where you can do your meetings. You can have the one-on-one meetings. And yeah, I can see on the chat we still have responses. Mansmila is saying you have recognized docs. Rachel with Chelagat is saying you've seen Google Meet, Gmail calendar, and that is Jacinta is saying Meet calendar and Drive. Okay, thank you. So let's continue with the discussion. So I've just mentioned about the first four. Then the next we have Google Docs, and Google Docs is an online word processor, and you can create text documents and collaborate with other people in real time. This means that more than one person can work on the same document. And again, one thing I like about the Google Docs is that it has autosave. So just in case maybe your computer shuts without maybe abruptly, then your work is automatically saved. You don't have maybe to look for Control S or file savers. The next one is Google Sheets. Google Sheets is an online spreadsheet. You can create and format sheets simultaneously with other people. And the next one is Google Slides. So Google Slides is an online presentation app that helps you to show how, that is, you can show your visual work in a, that is, or you can show your work in a visual way. That is Google Slides. Just like it works more as like the PowerPoint presentation, but now this one is more intuitive, and it's an online presentation. Again, your work is saved automatically. We have Google Sites. So with Google Sites, this one you use it to create a website without requiring coding knowledge. So you can create a website using the Google Sites. The next one, we have Google Forms. So Google Forms is used to collect information from users via personalized maybe survey or quiz, and it is automatically connected to spreadsheet. So meaning that the information that you collect on Google Forms, you can just by clicking that button, there's a button that you click there, and all this information is now put in a spreadsheet. So an example of a Google form is the one that we shared with you when you are signing up. That is a pre-registration form when you're signing up for this session. That's an example of a Google form. The next one is Google Keep, which is a note-taking app with a note-taking service with a variety of tools for notes, like maybe lists, text, and images. Then on the third line, that is the third horizontal line, from left to right, we have Admin Console. So Admin Console is an account that has privileges to manage services for other people in your organization, and I'll be able to demonstrate that. Remember, we are talking about the tools that are tools available under the Google Workspace. We also have Google Chat. For Google Chat, this one provides direct messages and team chat rooms, And last but not least, we have Jamboard. Jamboard is a digital interactive whiteboard that enables collaborative meeting and brainstorming. So that is so those are some of the tools. We have other tools like Google Currents, and Google Currents is the other tools we have other tools that are available like Google Currents, but we're going to discuss that later on. So now that we know which tools are available, now let's check on the core functionality of Google, that is the Google Workspace. So core functionality of Google Workspace, you can use Google Workspace to create documents and presentations. And maybe on the chat, even as I mentioned, create documents and presentations from the tools that we mentioned. Which ones do you think are used to create documents and which ones are used to create presentations? We have tools to record, analyze, and present data. And we have tools that you could, use brainstorm ideas, manage projects, and store data, and also communicate globally. So with all these functions, we're going to look at the tools that would help us, like create documents and presentations. You could use Google Docs and Google Slides. So Google Docs and Slides can both be used to create documents and presentations. So for Google Docs, this is it's word processing for Teams, and you can create and edit text documents directly in your browser, and there's no dedicated software. Then with this one, it is more people can work at the same time. For Google Slides, Google Docs, Google Sheets, more people or several people can work at the same time, that is in real time, and every change is saved automatically on the cloud. You can work on a single document with team members or even people who are outside your organization. And again, you can see the edits as they type. Normally, if let's say I and Emifaz, or Emifaz and I are working on a certain document, so when Emifaz types, for instance, maybe as he types, it may change maybe the color to a color like maybe purple, and then as I type, maybe mine would be green. Maybe if Beatrice starts to also type there, could give us maybe another color like red. So that is, you see the edits as other people types. And would also add comments. And the other one is Google Slides. So Google Slides is, say this one is used for presentations. You can edit polished presentations. Again, there is no software that is required. Several people can work at the same time, and so that everyone has the latest version of what you're working on. You can work on a single presentation with your business partner, your old team, or even external contacts. And also you control who gets permission to edit, view, or just comment, and it is more intuitive and user friendly than the PowerPoint presentation. So for all this, you need access before. So this means that your documents are secure, because when someone accesses, or if someone must access that particular document, then you have to give them, they can request for permission, and then you add them so that they can work on that document. So with Google Slides, you can create very beautiful presentations together, that is with your team. You can share, collaborate, and start quickly. We even have what you call the pre-made templates, so meaning that you can choose a template that is pretty close to what you want and start working on that. So that is a Google Docs and Google Slides. Let's move on to the next one. And the next one is record, analyze, and present data. So the forms, that is Google Forms and Sheets, can both be used to record, analyze, and present data. So for Google Forms, we say that Google Forms, it is easy to create surveys and forms for everyone. You just create the form and then you share the link, just like the same way I did when you are collecting information, that is when you're registering for this session. So we just share the link and you collect data with ease. You can create custom forms for survey and questionnaires at no extra cost, and then you gather everything in spreadsheet. And I'll be able to show you how you can gather information that you have collected in Google Forms in spreadsheet, and you can analyze this data in your Google Sheets. You can also create a form easily as creating a document, and you have several types of questions that you can ask. There are those ones that have a drop down. Maybe another one would be maybe a paragraph. Maybe you'd require someone to tick maybe in a certain box. So, and you can reorder the questions. For some cases, there's even you can even use it maybe if you are collecting information, and maybe even you are administering something like a quiz, so that maybe you get to know who scored everything, or you put there and then someone chooses maybe like which one is correct, A or B. If you choose A, you have already pre-designed in advance that maybe A is the correct answer. So anyone who says A will get maybe 5 marks. So that is record, analyze, and present data. And apart from the Google Forms, we also have the Google Sheets. And Google Sheets are smart and collaborative and secure spreadsheet for moving organizations. And if we have used that is we have the Excel, but now this one is an online one. So meaning that it is you can collaborate with other people. The work that you do is automatically saved. So you can use Google Sheets to track projects. You can analyze data and perform calculations, just like the same way you perform the calculations in a Microsoft Excel. And you can even import existing spreadsheets from Excel. You can just import them directly. So with Google Sheets, you can create and edit spreadsheets directly into your browser. Again, there is no special software that is required, and most people can work simultaneously. You can see the changes that people have made, and every change is saved automatically. Again, no one can access your document not unless you give them the permission to access that particular document. Benefits brought by Google Workspace. So Google Workspace, we have increased collaboration, improved communication, smarter working, and enhanced security. So I want us to look at these benefits individually. So for instance, we're talking about increased collaboration. So this means that Google Workspace stores the information in the cloud, enabling you to share documents and files with ease. That is, you can share it with other people. What you need to do is to share the file URL or share the documents by email, and you encourage your teams to collaborate and share their ideas. You can always restrict uh, maybe the people who maybe you will give them accesses, like maybe they can only view, the people who can edit and comment. And so that is an edit and comment the text. You can always again track the changes. So even if maybe you've been given the permission to comment or edit the text, then you'll be able to later on to see what changes people made, which actually for the other documents or the offline ones that we know, normally when someone deletes a document, you can't even tell who did that. But then for these Google Workspace tools, then increases collaboration because you could see the changes that people have made, the comments. You can even tag your colleagues even when you're making your comments. Let's look at improved communication. So Google Workspace has a number of communication tools that are used, that is communication tools. And these tools, we're going to look at them later on, but let's just mention them. So the tools for communication under the Google Workspace, one we have is Gmail, and we also have Google Meet, the one that we said it is about video conferencing. We have another one called Google Currents. Google Currents works more or less like Slack. I don't know if you people have ever heard of Slack, but I'll be able to show you also how that Google Currents works. So that one harnesses deeper communication. Then the next one, we also have Google Chat. So Google Chat is for instant messaging. Let's look at another benefit. Another benefit is working smarter. So you can use Google Workspace so that your team works smarter and not harder. And you could collect, analyze, and turn data into insights. That is, this data could be maybe data from your customers and also from your team. You can streamline your workflows and processes. You can store and manage files, communicate and collaborate via a central system. So you're going to look at this central system. We talk about a central system. What do we mean? So this Google Workspace gives us maybe a central system where we have everything in one place. You can always prevent threats before they happen because we have the proactive security tools powered by the Google Artificial Intelligence. So people can find the exact files, content, and knowledge that they need. So last but not least is the enhanced security. And with Google Workspace, you can store documents, files, and data on the cloud via Google Drive. You can also use what you call the admin console to centralize your administration. And you could also use the integrated cloud identity features to manage users and set up security options. And your organization is protected. That is, you protect your organization with security analytics and best practice recommendations within the security center, and identify and prevent threats with Google powered AI, that is that is intelligence. So now that we know the benefits of Google Workspace, then how do we set up our Google Workspace? I know when we were looking at these tools at the beginning of the session, you looked at these tools and you also saw that these are some of the tools that we are familiar, and they are even available in your Google account, but some are not available. So like maybe Gmail, the Google Meet, those ones are the obvious ones that we have even on our own Google account. But now in Google Workspace, we have other tools, like even we looked at the admin console. And admin console, if you look at your Google apps that you have, you may not have that one, and because that one is available in Google Workspace. So how do you get set up on Google Workspace? So this is how to create your Google Workspace account, and my moderator is going to share the link to Google, that is the link to Google Workspace, that is workspace.google.com. Then you can sign up. Once you have done this, you just click started and follow the steps. You'll be prompted to maybe enter your business name. There's so many, that is a few things that will be prompted there to enter. Maybe the business name, maybe have a maybe the contacts from the person maybe setting up the account, that person becomes the admin console. And then you enter the core business details, like the name of your business, how many employees do you have, the location of your business, and now you add your contact, the first and the last name, and your email address. And from there you choose your domain, either maybe you have bought or a suggested domain. That means that it is important when you have a website already, but if you don't have, there's no problem. And update your business address and choose your username and password. So that is how to get set up on a Google, that is a Google Workspace account. So let's proceed with our discussion. So how to get set up on Google Workspace. So we have talked about the link, and my moderator is going to share that shortly on the chat. So you'll be required to create a business or email address. So these email addresses, this is now how you can create a professional email address for your business. Supposing maybe my business, let's say I have a business that is called, maybe let's say Eden's Matunda, let's say for instance, then I can create a professional email like judy@edensmatunda.com. That is the email address. So the email that you create for your users will be bearing your domain name, and of course this one means that any email that I send using with that domain name, it means that it is legit. So create email addresses, and you don't have to, or you don't need to add email addresses as user accounts. Instead, you can even create what you call the email aliases and group addresses for your business communication. And these types of addresses are free and they don't count towards your Google Workspace licenses. So we have what you call the email, that is the email aliases. So what is an email alias? So email alias is from the word alias, just a nickname of an email. So it is a forwarding address, meaning that all emails addressed to the alias are forwarded to one or more specified accounts. For example, info@edensmatunda.com might be maybe forwarded to judy@edensmatunda.com, and maybe emifast@edensmatunda.com. So the alias has no inbox, there is no login and cannot be used to send email. So it is just but a forwarding email. We said again for this Google Workspace, you can also create a group, that is a group email. That, for instance, maybe it's a sales team that you want maybe to create a email for your sales team, so that everyone in the sales team, when an email is sent to the sales team, maybe sales at edensmatunda.com, then my sales team will be able to get that kind of information. So this one makes it easy for customers to contact your customer, that is contact your company, and you can add the address as an alias to your business address. So you've talked about the group addresses, maybe like the sales team at your company. Maybe the next thing that you need to do is add team members and users. So when you add these team members and users, before your team can sign in and access your Google Workspace, they need a user account. And this user account is the one now that bears the domain name. And for a start, as you start, we have what we call the trial period. And this trial period, normally it is 14 days trial period, and you can create up to 10 user accounts during the trial period. And if you are using maybe the setup wizard, you can also follow the steps. That is to choose the manual setup option or open a Google admin console, then you click billing. So you can add 10 users, and I'll be able to show you how you can add a user to your Google Workspace. From there, if you that is after the lapse of the 14 days trial period, and we say that you add 10 people, then you can add more. And then during this time, maybe you'll also be required to verify if really own the business. The next thing is migrate your data and import files. That is, maybe you have data that you'd want to migrate, then you can migrate it to your Google Workspace. So I'm pausing here for questions. Thank you so much, Emifas. Emifas has already shared the link to the Google Workspace. And there are people saying there that my screen is not clear. I'm really sorry for that. And Thomas, thank you for saving us on that. You're saying that you set your streaming video quality to 720 pixels or more. And yeah, and it will be clear on your end. Thank you so much for that. So are there any questions? Feel free to drop them on the chat. We have Emifas. Emifas is our moderator, is equally a trainer. So in case you have any question, feel free to drop it on the chat. And also, you watch out on the chat section. I think your attendance form will be shared right there on the chat. So when it is shared by your center manager, kindly you also sign up so that you mark your presence. Boost communication across your business. That is our second agenda. So from the tools that we mentioned, which tools do you think you can use to boost communication? That is the tools that are under the Google Workspace. Which ones do you think? Do you think it is email? Do you think it is Google Meet? Let us know which tools can you use to boost communication. So in this case, we are looking at boosting communication. So let us know on the chat which tools do you think they're used, that is can you use by Google Workspace to boost communication. Faith, you're saying your screen is also not clear. I don't know whose screen is clear, kindly, because I can see that more and more people are saying that their screens are not clear. Is there anyone who has a clear screen? Please let me know. Victor, you're saying, can we have a WhatsApp group for consultation? Yeah, that one you can negotiate with your center manager, because I believe you already have a WhatsApp group in your organization. Okay, Emifas is saying that Faith, kindly go to the settings and change your video resolutions, just in case the screen is not clear. Okay, thank you, Emifas, for that. So which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? That is the question that I'm posing to you. Are you aware of any tools? Kindly let us know. Lindy Mutisa, you're saying your screen is clear, but you're using a laptop. But the best thing just to do is to change your in-stream settings. Go to the YouTube settings and then you change the resolution to 720 pixels or more. Okay, so which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? Are you aware of any tools? Can you let me know via the chat? Remember, these are tools that we mentioned at the beginning of the session when we were mentioning about the various tools. So are there any tools that you know that can be used to boost communication? I'm waiting for your responses there on the chat. Wow, thank you so much, Ndindi Mutisia. And you're saying Gmail, chat, and meet. Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. That is very true. Obech Victor, you're saying Gmail. That is very, very, very true. Okay, so thank you so much for your responses. Wendy, you're saying WhatsApp. I don't know. Did we really say WhatsApp is part of the Google Workspace? Maybe you could also let us know on the chat. And Victor is saying yours is crystal clear. Okay, thank you. Wendy, okay, Wendy said email. Yeah, email is actually included in the Google Workspace for communication. Wow, thank you so much, Wendy, for clarifying that. Let's proceed. So these are the key communication tools. We have Gmail, Google Meet, Google Currents. Yeah, Faith Chemnitich, you're saying Google Meet. That is very true. Google Currents, Google Chat. Max Miller, you're saying Google Meet, Gmail, and I don't know, the other one is spread what. But anyway, these are the key communication tools. We have Gmail, Google Meet, Google Chat, and Google Currents. So maybe Google Currents could be maybe new to you, but I'll be able to take you through that. So Gmail. So you could use Gmail to communicate with ease. That is it's a free email tool that's available from Google. And with Gmail, you can send files and attachments. You can create groups and mailing lists. You can also access the integrated calendar in order to stay connected and up to date. Use the calendar. You can use the calendar that is for both personal and team use. So the latest Gmail makes it easier to stay on top of your work that matters. And you can also chat, you can make voice or video calls and stay on top of your project. So you build customer trust by giving everyone in a company a professional email. And these professional emails are the ones, say that the professional ones are those ones that bear a domain name. For instance, we said Judy at edensmatunda.com. That is a professional email. Or maxmiller at edensmatunda.com. That's a professional email. So create a professional email for everyone in your company. And you can also create a group mailing list, like maybe sales team at edensmatunda.com. And with the Gmail, we also have suggested actions like maybe smart reply. Like sometimes maybe you say thanks, I've received, so that instead of typing, you just click on that smart reply. You can also have other things like maybe grammar suggestions, so that you stay on top of your work and take care of simple tasks that can be more efficient with your time. So Gmail works hard to keep you safe, and it also works great with desktop, whether you're using your mobile phone or even your desktop, still it works great. So that is a Gmail. And next one, let's look at Google Meet. So Google Meet is we say this is a video conferencing. So you can keep your team connected with the enterprise grade video conferencing built on Google's robust and secure global infrastructure. So with this Google Meet, you ensure that your meetings are safe, and we have what we call the inbuilt protection. So again, for Google Meet, you can even join meetings directly from your calendar or it could just be an email invite. So you can just join from the email invite or even from the calendar, and all of the important events details are right there when you need them. Maybe you want to know about the agenda of the meeting, maybe other details, the agenda or the meeting details, you can always have them right there. And then also with Gmail, we also have other things that other features, like maybe you can use Jamboard right on your, sorry, it is not Gmail, it is Google Meet. You can use Jamboard. You can also create groups, like what you call the breakout rooms. Maybe if maybe we're in a meeting, then I can create breakout rooms so that you can have group discussion and also still get back to the main consuming that within that Google Meet you can still create group discussions, so that maybe you can have group A discussing a certain item in their own room. So that is a Google Meet. The next one is Google Currents. And Google Currents is used to foster meaningful information and even deeper communication with your employees. You can work towards a common goal and build a community. So let's say maybe you only want maybe to create you want to build a community maybe just for the sales team, so that information that is posted there only gets to the sales team, or it could be maybe to the human resource team, or even maybe the finance team, and you can communicate your ideas and get instant feedback. You can share ideas with the employees and gather input through meaningful, focused discussions on topics that matter to your organizations, and you can connect with them wherever they are. And this one, we say that this one works like Slack, and you can see even the most important content first using the Google Currents home stream, which is ranked by relevance for each user. You can follow tags on topics, search for specific information, and find what interests you. You can manage and moderate content faster with help from Currents. The key metrics you can also see with this one helps the admins and users to measure engagement and find valuable insights. So that is Google Currents, and if time allows, I'll be able to just take you through this what Google Currents is. So say that this one lets your team members to engage and communicate at a deeper level with a stream featuring posts and communities based on the common goals. It makes it easy for everyone to discuss and share ideas, no matter their team level, no matter their location, and it has features collections that make it easy to group posts by topic in order for users to show what they know and follow what matters most. Last but not least, I would like us to look at the Google Chat. These are tools to improve communication. So Google Chat, this one is from direct messaging to group conversation. Google Chat teams and businesses communicate fluidly and efficiently from anywhere. So this is you can communicate directly, and it is also offered at no cost. That is offered to the Google Workspace customers at no cost. You can upload items from Drive. You can collaborate on docs. You can collaborate on sheets and even slides. You can join online meetings with Meet and use Google's powerful search to look up for room members. That is a past conversation and even a shared file. So that is a Google Chat, and this one is basically for direct, that is sending direct messages. Tips to maximize communication. So now that you're looking at the online workspace, working online, now how are you going to maximize your communication? Maybe like even like what you are doing now. I'm working with EMFAS. EMFAS is in Nyeri, I'm in Eldoret. Maybe you have other team members. So how do you maximize your communication? So we have these tips. We have create in-person communication, stay organized, create team mailing list, and set up projects and team rooms. So let's look at the first one, which is recreate in-person communication. So there are 4 ways of recreating in-person communication. For instance, you schedule regular team calls and check-in. So check on your team members, either maybe via Google Meet or Hangouts. Maybe it could be once a week, it could be bi-weekly, and you can connect with colleagues and teams across the globe and brainstorm ideas. You can work on projects. You can even hold virtual events. These virtual events, maybe you're launching a new product and hold a virtual event. Maybe one team member, maybe amongst yourself, maybe has a birthday. These are virtual events. You can hold these virtual events. You can join from your laptop or even from your mobile device. The next one is stay organized. And there's an important tool here that helps us to stay organized, which is the Google Calendar. So with Google Calendar, you improve communication across your team. You can create multiple team calendars to track meetings, training sessions, vacations, and more. And you improve visibility and organization by ensuring that team members remain connected. Then you spend less time planning and more time doing what is shareable with the calendars. Like maybe I can, when I'm sharing, maybe when I'm creating, like say I'm creating a meeting, then I can even lay it on MFAS's calendar. And you can schedule these events quickly by checking the availability. I can check his calendar and see if it's available or not, and then I can layer the calendars in a single view. You can share these calendars so that people can see the full events and the details, and all for free. You can view and edit your schedule from your phone or tablet, and you can also share special events with customers to let people know that you are available with easy calendar publishing. Also, I'll be able to just do a demonstration on that. And then the last one is create a team mailing list. Remember, we said that with Google Workspace, you can create a team mailing list, like the one we said that maybe sales at aidensmatunda.com. So you can create team mailing lists, you can send status updates. You can also CC them into their mails and share resources, and that one will help also to foster community. Last but not least, we have set up project or team rooms. So you can encourage your team members to stay connected in a room in Google Chat or even chat in Gmail. You can encourage members to network with each other, can share project ideas, share thoughts on the best practices, and create a stronger sense of community. Okay, so again, I'm posting here if there are any questions. I'm posting here for questions before we proceed. I can see my moderator has already shared the certification link, just in case you did not maybe sign it in our first session, then you can sign it so that you can get a certificate. So let's proceed with our discussion. That is for the interest of time, because I'd want to actually do a demo on some of these things that I've just mentioned. So in case you have any questions, kindly feel free to drop them on the chat. We have MFAs there, and it's also asking you, are there any questions? So feel free to drop them on the chat, and let's proceed with our discussion. Allow me to proceed kindly. So we have tools to increase collaboration. And again, I'm asking you a question here. Which tools can you use to increase, that is used on Google Workspace to increase collaboration? Remember, we have mentioned about the tools to increase communication. And now you're looking at the tools to increase collaboration. When we talk about increasing collaboration, we are looking at the tools that, those things that people can work on together, like maybe two or more people can work maybe on a single, maybe on a document. So let us know, which tools do you think can be used to increase collaboration, or you can say co-editing work, or even just working together. Let us know which tools can you use to increase collaboration. Could give us your response there. Remember, there's no wrong or right answer. Just engage with us on the chat. So collaborate across projects and teams. So we could brainstorm ideas. That is, there are 4 ways of collaborating. 1 is brainstorming ideas. 2 is sharing working files. And then we have make suggestion and tag colleagues and track changes. So I want us to dive into the first one, which is brainstorming. So there's this tool that is called Jamboard. I don't know how many of us have ever used Jamboard. Just let me know on the chat. Have you ever used Jamboard? Just give me a yes. If you have never used, just say no. Have you used Jamboard before? So Jamboard is a digital whiteboard that allows you to share ideas and brainstorm ideas, or maybe during the brainstorming sessions. And Jamboard is connected to the cloud and enables people in different locations to work together in real time. One thing that you can really say about these online tools that we are talking about is that you can work in real time. So many people can work together at the same time. Max Miller, thank you so much. You're saying you have never used Jamboard. Beatrice, also thank you for that. You've said you've never used Jamboard, and I'll be able to show you at the end of the session. So with Jamboard, you can write and draw with included stylers. You can search maybe an image on Google and insert it in the Jamboard. You can drag and resize text images with your fingers. You can sketch, maybe you can sketch a star, you can sketch a cat, a dragon, and that is a image recognition technology converts your sketch into a polished image, and you can share your jams with collaborators. Imagine up to 50 people can work on a jam at once. You can have 50 people working together on the same Jamboard. And then for this Jamboard, you can also add it to Google Docs, Google Sheets, and slides. You can all add these. You can add Google Docs, you can add sheets, you can add slides to a jam. You can view and edit your jams from anywhere, so long as there's what you call the internet connection, and again, your work is automatically saved. You can create and share jams from your computer, and you can open a nearby Jamboard from your phone or tablet. You can connect to your computer, and Jamboard displays your screen and lets you control the computer from the Jamboard touch screen. So you can pick up from where you left. Maybe you are in a hurry and you left it, you can just pick up from where you left earlier, and you can email even your jam session when you finish it. So I'll be able to show you that is a Jamboard. The next one is Google Drive. I think this is the one that was mostly mentioned by most of us, that when I ask about the tools that you were able to recognize, and Google Drive was one of the one that was most mentioned. So for Google Drive, you use it to store files, and this enables you also to share working documents, presentation, and sheets with ease. You can also encourage collaboration and work from a central file, that is the Google Drive. You can share that is, you can use shared drives to store your team's work in secure and easy to manage shared spaces. You can also collaborate on live documents and files. You can share, comment, tag, and edit team documents with ease. Make suggestions and tag colleagues. So because I've talked about editing in real time, that is you edit shared documents in real time. So this one reduces the need to send back and forth a document. So let's say maybe I'm working in the same on a document with MFS. So I make my suggestion, I send to MFS. MFS makes his suggestion and sends back to me. So that takes a lot of time. So instead of doing that, you now use this Google Docs or even the Google Sheets, and then for this you just share the documents in real time. And this one helps us to reduce the sending back and forth of files. You can suggest the changes. You can even comment and tag colleagues. When you're tagging a colleague, just like the same way you tag someone on Facebook, like maybe at Judy, then it brings the name. So again, with these documents, you can also tag your colleagues by just typing there at followed by your colleague's name, and you tag them in documents. You can reply to comments and track changes so that you can approve them before implementation. Tracking the changes. So if you are collaborating with several people on a single document, it can be very difficult to tell who made certain changes and when. But then you need to keep track of these changes in your shared files by identifying changes and who made them. So you can revert to a previous version. So maybe there were changes, but you can still revert to a previous version. And Google Workspace enables you to view these edits that people have made on your documents. You can restrict the access, you can track the changes and approve the suggestions. So in order for you to see the changes, you go to, that is, you open your file in Google Drive, and then from docs or sheets or slides, then you select file. From file, you select the version history and see maybe who has accessed a document or maybe you see the version history, the changes that were made. So note that you need to be, that is the owner or editor access in order to access the file. And step 3 is you can click a timestamp. Maybe there were changes that were made today, maybe at 9 a.m., at 10 a.m. So you can click on the timestamp and see the names of people who edited the document. A color that is next to the person's name will appear. And step 4, you can revert this the document, or you can name or even copy a previous version. You can even restore the version to make it an active version. Maybe the changes that were made, maybe you didn't like the change, then you can restore it to make an active version. You can name even this version, or you can create a copy of the version. Also, you can view who has opened a file you have shared. Maybe you have shared a file, and therefore it will tell you who has opened a file, who has joined a file since you last opened it, who you have shared a file with, or who has commented, edited, or even shared or moved a file. So those are the tracking of changes. Okay. So I'm pausing here for questions, and even as I pause here for questions, I'd just like to take you through a demonstration on this Google Workspace. And I don't know, I believe by now we now understand that your Google account is different from Google Workspace. So I'd want to show you an account that has already been created, and also I have the admin privileges. I'll be able to locate these. Let me see. To this one. I want to, let me show you this admin. Just a moment. Okay, yeah, this is the right one. All right. So this, from my screen here, you can see this Google Workspace account, and I just want to point here. I don't know which is visible on your end, but this one reads, that is your Google account, Judy Prop. But this one bears now the domain name of that organization. And I want to, anytime I want to access the tools, I'll always click on these 9 dots. I think this is something that I've been mentioning from the previous event sessions that we have had. So anytime I want to access these tools, I would go to the 9 dots. And remember, this is the account that bears the domain name of the organization. And you can see from this account, we have this Google Currents, and this Google Currents, you will not find it in your ordinary Google account. So you can see Google Currents there. We also have the admin console that we mentioned. So allow me just to go through some of the tools that we mentioned, and allow me to start with the admin console. So I'll click on this admin console, and it's like it's taking me to a new tab, and this one might force me to share. Just a minute. Okay, so it is opening a new tab. So let me stop sharing this, and then I share the new tab. So remember, I've clicked on the admin console, and you say that this admin console has privileges to manage other users' accounts, and this is where everything is centralized. So I believe my screen is visible. Just give me a yes on the chat. Let me know on the chat if my screen is visible. Are you able to see my admin console account? Let me know. Kindly let me know on the chat. Is my screen visible? the admin console account. Is it visible? So you'll just bear with me. I'm going to take some more minutes of your time even as I do the practical, because I feel like I need to show you all these things that we've been mentioning. I don't know, can you see my screen? Okay, are you seeing the admin console account on my screen? Let me know. Let me know on the chat. Are you able to see this as me? Because it has the home, the dashboard, we have directory, devices, apps, security, reporting, billing, accounts, rules, and storage. Okay, sorry for that technical itch, but I believe now my screen is visible. Wendy say you cannot see, but I believe it is visible now. Okay, thank you so much for your patience. So from this admin account, you can see here we have add a user. So I have the privileges to add a user, delete a user, can update a user's name. I can even create the email alias. Remember we talked about the email aliases. So there's so many things to learn here, but just allow me to show you how to create a user using your domain. So you could see there we have the domain name there. So I just go here, add a user. So this is how your dashboard would look like when you create your Google Workspace account. So okay, so this is how to add the user. So I'll need to add user information. So let's say maybe I want to use the name like Zin Atieno. So let's say Zin, please allow me just to use your name, but I'm not going to create an account for you. So this is Zin Atieno, and then Atieno, and here the primary email will be Zin. I'll add here Atieno at eldorettti.ac.ke, and then I can put here the secondary email, which is the ordinary Gmail account, and then I can have here a phone number. And what I'll do here is to add the new user. So when I add this new user, then the new user will have this person will have a professional email that is bearing the domain name. So I can copy the password and maybe send to her. And so that is how you can add a user. You can also add users as in bulk. That is, you can add users in bulk. You can download this CSV file and you put there maybe the names of these people, and then you can attach or you can upload. You do not just have to add them maybe one by one, just in case maybe you have so many people. So that is how to add users using the admin console. So allow me to proceed to the others. So this admin console is just but for centralizing so that you can manage the other users. So let me go through the ones that maybe another one is Google Currents. These are the ones that we mentioned. Google Currents. So this is how Google Currents looks like. Unfortunately, it has not taken you there, so I'll have to stop sharing this and take you to where the Google Currents is. So I'll keep on sharing different tabs. Currents. This is Google Currents. and you say that this one is like it works more or less like Slack, and I'm just waiting for the screen to be up. This is Google Currents, and Google Currents, you say this one is used to enhance deeper communication with your team, and you can have communities. There's a profile there. You can post. That is, you can see the communities. Maybe it is your sales team, so that when I open maybe like the sales team, the sales people will be able to see this. I don't know if this is visible. Okay, so this is how Google Currents looks like. So this one is just but for enhancing deeper communication. You can communicate with your team members. So like this one, I can post an update and say maybe, if I say maybe like hello, supposing maybe I want to communicate with them, then it will appear on their home. That is a home tab, and this one will show that communication. Apart from that, let me get to another tool. Another tool is Jamboard. Let me go to Jamboard. Jamboard, it is here. Just scrolling down. I'll show you Jamboard and then a few others. And for the other tools, you'll just take your own time and also get to learn in your own time. You get to learn about the other tools. Now, the problem with this is that I'll keep on sharing again and again. So this is Jamboard. So this is Jamboard, and Jamboard looks like this. You say that this one is used for brainstorming. So let's say maybe I want to open a new jam. I just click on this plus, that is the plus sign there, and maybe, so this is how you can brainstorm with other people. I can use this icon here, that is the sticky note, and say maybe what are your key takeaways. Supposing maybe I want to get to know about maybe your key takeaways for today, I just click on save, and this is how it will appear on the Jamboard. I can resize it, and yeah, you can also use the pen. Maybe there's something, maybe you're drawing a design for a certain product, you can use the pen. This is the eraser. So that is, you can even say that you can attach, attach images. We even have what you call the laser. That just shows how it's supposed to go about. So that is a Jamboard. And then the last one maybe that I want to show you, let me show you, let's go to Google Forms. Google Forms. And you say that for Google Forms, you could use it to collect information, or you can do even a survey. So like this is a forms, though this one has form sheets and the others. So let's say maybe I want to start with a blank quiz, or I can just open one that I had already created. Yeah, so maybe this is Ajira, California. Let's say, for instance, California. Then you can add there your first name, your last name. You scroll down a bit, and when I want to add maybe a question, you click on this plus sign here, and maybe I can write here maybe your email address. Remember, I'm trying to collect information from people, so maybe I want this person to start with the email address. And this email address, we have what you call the multiple choice, which does not apply in this case. Could be a short answer, It could be maybe a drop down, or it could even require them maybe to upload a file. So for this case, maybe I'd say not even a paragraph, but a short answer. A short answer. I could even make it to be required to be a compulsory question that anyone who gets to this form must be able to fill that. Let's say for the case of like maybe the gender, I could have it as a multiple choice so that one would choose maybe between female, male, and the others. And after you are done with your questions, when someone responds, you will get them here. And when you want to summarize them in spreadsheet, you click on this plus sign here, and everything that all the responses, you'll get them on spreadsheet. And once I'm done with this, and maybe I want to share the link, I'll click on send. But before that, you could also have the settings, that is the form settings. And from these forms here, you could even say I want to limit these responses to only one response, so that one person does not respond maybe many times. So you can see here, limit to one response. I can activate it so that they only respond once. And then from there, I click on this send. When I click on send, then I can get the link here. I can even shorten the link, copy it, and share it to you, and I'll be able to collect that information. So that is Google Forms. Yeah, so that is it. And then we say that the next one is say that with this, we also have what you call the Google Calendar. Google Calendar. Now this is the last one that I'm sharing, and I just want to show you how you can create a meeting using Google Calendar. Google Calendar. Okay, here it is. So supposing maybe I want to create a meeting with I want to create a meeting using Google Calendar. Say that Google Calendar helps you to stay organized. You can schedule your tasks. So I'll just click on, this is now 1 p.m. Maybe I go to 2 p.m. When I click on this, I can add the title here. Maybe I want to have a meeting with California IEC, and I can add video conferencing, so that I add the Google Meet, so that you join using this one. And I click here, I can click here save, and my meeting is saved. But then I'd want to make some edits. Maybe I forgot to change, maybe like the meeting will start at what time. So this is September 29th. Maybe I want to say we'll have a meeting from 12:30 to 2. I can even change the date here, maybe to make it tomorrow. And then guests, I can add here the email addresses of the people that I want to invite, so that they get their invites directly on their inboxes. And when I come here, I'll add here the meeting notes. So these meeting notes, these maybe could be the agenda, and say maybe agenda 1. And after I've done all this, then I can save this information. Yes, I can save this information. There's so many things that you can do here, but then anyway, those are just the basics. When you're creating a meeting or scheduling a meeting using calendar, it is very important that you ensure that the date, the time is correct, and also ensure that you add a Meet link. So that is about Google Calendar. Wow. So allow me to proceed with our discussion, because I know our time is not on our side. And I believe you have learned a lot, or we have learned something new today. You could just let me know in the chat, even as you wind up. Are there any questions? What have you learned? Let us know. So remember, there's also the bootcamp. My moderator is going to share the link to the bootcamp. And what are your next steps from here? Remember to learn digital. That is, we'll share the learning link so that you get to learn more about digital marketing. And also, you can also get topics even about what you have learned today, like the Google Workspaces. Remember to follow us on our social media at Digital Skills AF on Instagram and Twitter, and at Digital Skills for Africa, even so that you can get maybe information about digital tips and tricks. Then you can follow us. So that one marks the end of our sessions today. And Samson is saying that you haven't seen the link for registration yet. Okay, so that is well noted, Samson. So, are there any questions, any feedback? Is there anything maybe that you've learned today? Is there anything maybe that you have learned? What are your key takeaways? Let us know in the chat. And I want to appreciate you for staying with us since morning. That is in our first session, and now in our second session. I'm really grateful. And also, I'd like to thank Amy first for the good job that she's been doing on the chat, answering questions, and also taking your concerns. So, are there any questions before we proceed? Beatrice, you're saying, when shall we learn about logo and graphic design, please? Okay, Beatrice, that one is I think that is quite different from what we are discussing. But one thing that I would like to let you know, Beatrice, is that if you like to, if that is about the logo and graphic design, then we have a very important tool that is called Canva. Maybe, first, you could maybe share the link to Canva so that you can learn more about how to create a graphic design and also about the logos. But I think that's something also that you can do it aside from what we are discussing today. Obech Victor, or you're talking about the attendance poll. I thought it had been shared. I don't know. Maybe anyway, if it has not been shared, then there is no problem because there was someone who was supposed to share that on the chat, and no worries. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Amy first. Obech Victor, no worries, don't worry. If it has not been shared, then don't worry. So long as you fill the certification form, then you can also get your information there, no problem. So thank you so much, Amy first. Amy first has shared the link to Canva. That is the one for graphic design, just in case you want designs for your business. All right. So thank you so much for being with us, for engaging with us on the chat. And I don't want to take more of your time, and I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around even we have 15 minutes past time. I'm really sorry for that. So I want to wish you a lovely afternoon, and until next time, bye bye.